And welcome back. We're back at Efteling today, and today we take you for a stroll through the complete fairytale forest. It's a lovely summer day.
It's the first time we're doing a walk with this weather. It's about 2 degrees Celsius. And in Fahrenheit, I know, but I believe it's 7.
No, high in the 80s.
No.
It's the beginning of June. And it's a Saturday, so it's a little bit crowded in the park, but it's nice to be here.
And in Fairytale Forest, you really don't notice that much if it's crowded or not, because it's more of a walkthrough area. And somebody picked a flower. That's not something you should do. But everybody has his own rules.
And here we find the first fairy tale. And actually it's one of the first fairy tales of the forest and also one of the oldest. Sleeping Beauty.
It's here not 70 years? Or
It is. The building was constructed for the opening, but the scenes inside, they were opened a year later. And if you come to this spot, you can choose. On the left side, you go up to see the castle. On the right, you can walk next to it.
If you don't want to climb or you can't climb, you can go next to it. And every fairy tale starts with, well, the book, the story. So you can
And
read.
here you can read the story in short in 4 languages. There's one exception.
Yes.
But all stories are in Dutch, English, French and German.
And Pinocchio is also in Italian.
And we'll see that later on, and that's of course because it's an Italian fairy tale.
And if you are here later this year, then there is a chance that this fairy tale is in maintenance.
And look, also the guard is sleeping. You feel a temperature drop here
Yeah, it's a tree.
under the trees.
And you can hear probably the show
Wolf.
in the background. It's the big bad wolf that you hear in the background.
And here we see Sleeping Beauty.
So in 30 years she's going to wake up.
Yep. I'm curious what they're going to do when the fairy tale is here for 100
years.
And here you see the witch.
And the maintenance will be on the castle. There are some cracks in the castle. They're probably going to do a lot of repairs here to keep it here for another 30 years, at least.
That's why I love the Efteling. They don't demolish it and put something else. Now they really restore what they had and cherish what they have.
And that's what you see up next. Some fences, because they're restoring that as well.
But first, these slippery stairs.
Yeah, when I walk here, I always think about how many feet already traveled here. Millions and millions of feet.
And when we come down, we enter the Gnome village.
So the right side is being rebuilt, but the left side you can still visit, and the right side will open
In the
probably
next
in the
several weeks.
Yeah. And we have another channel because we are here so much and so often. We're doing some news and updates about theme parks in the Netherlands. So if you want to follow us there, then please welcome. If you enjoy this kind of information, it will be interesting for you.
And you can find the channel under the name Dutch Theme Park Network.
Yeah, I'll add a link in the description. And what I love about the fairytale village is fairytale forest is all the secrets.
We don't show them all to you in this video,
But the little guy knows.
he knows.
Like the squirrels that are hidden everywhere. And
All kinds of animals.
the handles that make this fairy tale do something. Watch your head, it's low.
And did you know that he is reading another page? Once in a while they turn the page, so he's reading another part of the storybook.
And the right side is a maintenance now, but there is also the gnome that plays the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Or the, not really the piano, but the,
Clef symbol.
yeah, not sure what the English term is, maybe it's clavier, I don't know. And that's the music you hear in the mushrooms.
It's the actually the largest fairy tale of the forest, because you find these mushrooms all over the place.
Toadstools?
Toadstool? I think it's toadstool.
Oh, there's one. I'll show you. There's one because indeed there are a lot of these around Fairytale Forest. And every child in the Netherlands has at least one photo of him or herself sitting on this mushroom. Let's call it a mushroom. Now, if you want something to eat here and basically snack, then you can buy stroopwafels here.
A syrup waffle.
A syrup waffle. They're made fresh or they're not fresh, but they're dipped in chocolate. So good.
And of course this is a lovely space, because here we find
Long neck.
Long Neck, one of the most popular fairy tales of the forest.
Well, the most known basically, but a lot of people don't know this fairy tale of the Six Servants. But this image is iconic because they advertise a lot with it. Yep. And he's been here so long, has seen so many things with his long neck.
I'm not sure. I believe he wasn't one of the opening.
No, but he's been here.
For a while. He
Yeah.
was here early on.
And left we've got Holle one of them.
One of the world famous trash bins. You can put in your trash and he will say thank you.
He's asking for paper, he loves paper.
And here we'll find 3 mushrooms in a row. And many people think the Efteling started with the fairytale forest, but actually that isn't completely true. Because in the early 30s there was a sporting and walking area here, Roman Catholic, and after the Second World War there was the shoe. It was a
Sporting ground?
no, an event around shoemaking, because that was where this area was popular about. And after that they made a plan to make it a more a place for children, and that was the moment they came up with the fairytale forest and the Efteling.
And they built and still building. It's not finished yet and probably never will be finished. So they keep adding to the park, but also they keep adding fairy tales. So the sign of Little Red Riding Hood was the first Little Red Riding Hood in the fairytale forest, but after that they built this house for her. And here she's waiting on Grandma to open the door.
She's actually ringing the door.
And also this is pretty recently completely rebuilt.
maar eens naar binnen door de ramen. Daar ligt de boze wolf in grootmoeders bed. En kijk eens hoe hij likken baart in de hoop dat Roodkapje zo dadelijk binnen zal komen. Jullie weten allemaal hoe het sprookje verder gaat. Roodkapje en grootmoeder zijn
They try to keep the windows clean every day, but
Several times a day.
there are always hands on there.
Completely understandable.
Oh yes.
It's even a job, window cleaner in the Fairytale Forest. Huh?
It's a cool job. And it's this weather out. But it's never finished. Then the next
stop.
fairy tale. The one also in Italian.
Here we find Pinocchio, one of the latest editions. Not the latest, but first of all we find
La Bottega.
the Bottega, the workshop of Geppetto. Not the best place to peek in, but let's see what we can find here. And as you can see, all mice are playing because Geppetto is searching for Pinocchio.
I love all the details, like the woodwork here on the posts. And that's pretty much the entire Fairytale Forest. The details are amazing. And this is quite an elaborate fairy tale. You've got the Bottega, you've got here
We
the
find
fox,
the fox and the cat.
and also
There they
of course,
come.
Monstro.
Let's see what happens.
Hey, come out.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
There's the wolf.
And the cat.
And over here. Let's see what happens if we turn this wheel. Here he goes. And there we see Pinocchio in the back.
Oh, that's Monstro. He's not in the ocean here. He's just in a lake, but
Oh
you get
well.
it. It's a little part of Fairytale Forest you can see when you enter the park. Because the leaves, it's pretty recent, so the trees and the,
Aren't that grown, fully grown?
yeah, they will be. And then it will be.
And then you hear children say, "Oh, look at the big fish," and I think that those are the real fish, but I mean monstro.
Yeah, because in front there's a pond with real fish, so they could mean the real fish.
And here we find the dancing red shoes.
Oh, they've made the fairy tales child friendly here, because in the real fairy tale her feet are cut off and she dies. But here just the shoes are
We're
taken
cut
off.
off.
And the shoes go in the world and keep dancing.
And they, after the story, they will dance around. But we won't wait for that now. Let's go walk on.
And next up is one of my favorites.
Yeah. The Troll King, King of Trolls.
The place where to go when you want an insight in your future. Want to know what's ahead?
Oh,
he's
that's
out.
a pity.
Oh, basically
He has a day off.
yeah, well, of course everybody needs a day off. But basically you turn the dial to your sign, so Aries or Taurus in our case. And this stroll will tell you the future, and if you listen very carefully you can understand some words, but basically it's gibberish.
It's gibberish. And next up is a very unknown fairy tale. The Naughty Princess. And here, this is an interactive fairy tale because it will repeat whatever you say.
It's a parrot.
It's a parrot. So you can speak when the eye is red, and when the eye isn't lit up, it will repeat everything it heard. So let's say, follow J&J Walks on YouTube.
So let's say, follow J&J Walks on YouTube.
Thank you so much. Well, normally there are kids screaming here and yelling all kind of stuff to the parrot. They change it. It's a better parrot voice nowadays.
It's even fun as adults, so you see the children, but the adults are really enjoying it as well, particularly. This is more well known. Disney made a film of this, so
Rapunzel, yeah.
people know this story. And Rapunzel, the girl with the very, very long hair that was locked in a tower and saved by a king.
And once in a while, the witch is climbing up.
And Disney kept the weirdest part of this story out, of course, because she's there because her mother had a craving for lettuce and basically sold her child to eat lettuce, which is...
And there she goes. And as you can see, there's a path to the left. Many people get lost in this forest. They find a way out, or see the same fairy tale over and over again, or
Yeah.
they haven't seen half of it.
When I came here less often than I do today, I got lost here as well. I still don't know how I did it, but I swear I saw the giant 3 times and we're trying to get out, but we couldn't. So there's a trick, an easy trick.
I learned you a trick.
Yes, follow the red bricks.
If you follow the red brick road, not the yellow bricks, the red brick road, and you just keep following it, you will see all fairy tales,
Once.
like all once, like the Little Mermaid over here, and only once, and you will see all of it, and you will find your way out. So just keep following the red brick road. This is actually one of the pro tips. At least once every visit I heard someone ask, how do we come out of here? How do we get out of here?
And there's a little secret here too, and you see it better in winter, but maybe we can see it today.
Yes, it's up there. Up to the left, we'll show you. It's over there in the trees.
I'll just have to look for it. Oh, there it is. There it is. A witch landed here. You see a knapsack,
I
white
will
and red, and of
zoom a
course,
little.
a
There it
broom.
is.
And it's just there, hanging for somebody to
And
casually
it
spot it.
isn't. Oh, there it is. It isn't really a fairy tale. It's just a detail they added.
Little gag. And she probably got scared and left her stuff there because of this dragon. And it's actually in the stories, in the stories the Efteling made, I'm not sure in this fairy tale, but in the stories Efteling made in like fairy tale universe. This dragon is very sweet, only protecting his treasure and basically helping everybody out.
And also this one is interactive.
He was a bit grumpy when he had a splinter in his foot, but well, aren't we all?
You see the treasure over here, and if you try to steal the crown, you will turn on the dragon and he will...
Get very, very mad.
There he goes again.
Now this is a forest, so it's a genuine forest and there are lots of animals living here. Lots of birds, but also little squirrels and mice.
Even rats.
Less popular animals than squirrels, but there's so much life here.
And here we'll see Mother Goat going out for her groceries.
It's a really cool animatronic because it has movement and just so slow and little.
Some slight... As a child I was scared of her. More scared of the dragon. Because she was more real to me.
And I love, again here, the details like the goats in the cement work.
Well, it's a busy day in the park, but as you can see, there's not that much going on in the fairytale forest.
Well, with this weather, children are probably at pools and stuff. But honestly, it's great to walk here because it's trees, there's so much shadow and it's a great temperature. The rest of the park has more openness, so there's more direct sunlight. And it can get hot, but this is perfect.
And here we see the wolf
I always
trying
feel-
to come in.
I will feel bad. Since the show they did a couple of years ago, I feel bad for him because he had a show where he told everybody how misunderstood he truly was.
His side of the story.
His side of the story.
All
and
the alternative facts.
Yeah.
There were some nudges to Trump as a president and to other actual
Events in the
actual
world.
events in the world. It was a lovely show if you speak Dutch.
If you speak Dutch, it was.
It's still on
It
YouTube.
was fun for children and fun for adults.
Yeah.
And maybe even more fun for the adults than for children. And there's a pie on the roof, so that gives about away what we're walking onto. And
This
yeah,
is one of the fairy tales I guess everybody knows.
yeah, and there are pear trees here in the garden, and usually it smells more like cinnamon.
There is even a summer and a winter smell.
Oh, here it is. Here's the smell. Yeah,
There's such a cinnamon smell over here.
it really makes you want to go cross the fences and eat some of the house yourself. So I get Hansel and Gretel. I really do.
And also here there's some interaction. If you pull down the door
Lever.
handle, you will call out the witch.
And the cat.
Knubbel, knabbel, knoosje. Wie knabbelt aan mijn neusje?
And there she goes again.
And Hansel and Gretel. You can spot them over there.
There are even some eyes down in the bushes.
Yes.
Knubbel, knabbel, knoosje. Wie knabbelt aan mijn neusje?
Now we come to even one of the other favorite spots in the fairytale forest, but there's a lot of maintenance going on. They completely demolished and are rebuilding the magical clock. It will reopen in a few weeks.
Yes, this is actually my favorite part of the fairytale forest.
Yeah,
Yeah, for me.
so nice to grab a coffee, sit down, enjoy the environment.
And count the people that get a coin from the donkey.
As well.
She'll be more quiet today, but there's always life here. So first up, Vrouw Holle. I'm not sure what this is in English.
Let's see in the book. You can look down in the well and you see pictures and the story is told in Dutch. And I think Vrouw Holle is also on a break today. Oh, there she comes. She's called Mother Holle. And when she's shaking the pillow, it's snowing on Earth. So here does the snow come. There it is. Snow in the middle of summer.
And also the little details at the door. You've got
The gold and back,
big
oil.
black, the black sticky stuff that
Sticky stuff.
Minnie was covered with.
Because the story is two girls fell down in the pit and one was working very hard and was covered in gold. And then her lazy sister went down and she was covered in oil. Oh, look here. Some ducks found a pound of our little pal.
Well, where there's water, they will find it.
And that's actually what I love about Efteling. It's all the nature and all the animals living in the park.
He's pointing to the toilets over
The
there.
toilets, yep. And here he is.
The donkey.
When you put in 50 cents or even contactless nowadays.
Yeah, if you tap 50 cents, then you will get a coin, and that is a story that's
It's
belongs
part
here.
of this fairy tale.
Donkey lift your tail, table laid out.
And if you go in, you see
Now this is first funny reference to
the actual name of the neighborhood before the Efteling came here. It was called Efteling.
it's
And
probably
to
why,
remember it, they called this tavern Efteling.
that's probably why Efteling is called Efteling, but
Yep.
people are not really sure.
Daarna was het een groot feest en ze leven nog lang en gelukkig. Excuseer mij, edele gast. Ik zie, u gaat de reis voortzetten. Goede reis en tot een volgende maal in herberg Beekstad.
Yeah, you want to show the little detail I
Yeah,
showed you last time?
There's still the stuff to discover here. I never noticed this was a little bed. Well, let
Maybe
people.
discover this one for their own.
Yeah, this is like the mirror. This is the mirror.
It's
of
the magical
Snow White.
mirror of Snow White. It can be scary for a little child, so be
Little
aware.
silver, yeah, absolutely.
But, well, I think you have to see it. But discover for your own.
And Snow White has two parts here.
She's
She
also
can be found over here. And Efteling really shows the dark sides of the fairy tales, like the moments when it's worst, just before it gets
getting
better.
better. Mostly those are the most iconic scenes of a fairy tale. So
There's one,
Efteling tries to show the most
there's one exception.
iconic. Yeah, there's one exception, but we won't go there first.
No.
First, we go to the Six Swans, and that's actually the only ride in the Fairy Tale Forest.
And it's a
There is a ride in the Fairy Tale Forest that many people don't know.
and it's really a small ride, so don't expect.
No, don't expect that much.
But look at it. It's really, this is so beautiful. The
These
music
are
here, the plants, the water. It's really,
actually, this is one of my favorite music parts in the Efteling. It's so simple and so elegant.
isn't this the last edition? It is, right?
This is the latest addition to the Fairy Tale Forest. Yep.
And there they go.
And many people came out and said, "Was that all?" Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just one round with the swans.
Because there they come out. It's like a minute, I think.
I think less than a minute, but it's nice because you go through the fairy tale in a swan and you see the animatronic that you can see also from over here, from the inside of the building.
Oh, you have to.
And nowadays they are also telling the story when you ride
And the
in
swan-
Dutch again.
The swans are actually the brothers of Eliza, and Eliza is knitting for her little brothers because a witch or her stepmother probably
Stepmother.
turned them into swans, and she has to knit 6 of
Trousers.
these vests from flowers to get them turned back.
And she's not allowed to speak
That's really
while
sad.
she's knitting. So she's knitting in silence. I didn't know the story before they built it over here.
And that's
But
how
I liked it, the way they did it over here.
and like these swan feet. Again, the details.
And actually, this is one of the details we will show you also in our later video. We will put on Dutch Theme Park Network, where we show you the fairytale forest with all hidden details.
Look at little fish.
Oh, look!
Oh, right, and here we're going to the next fairy
And
tale.
yep, this is the grave of the mother of Cinderella.
And Cinderella lives here. Of course, you can see by the pumpkins.
And all the clocks above the windows, all pointing to 12 o'clock. You want to go in?
Yeah, let's show them.
Okay. This is one of my least favorites.
Het is alweer een poos geleden, maar nooit uit mijn gedachten dat wonderen de prins en mij voor even samenbrachten.
Let's give people some silence to listen. But this is actually a fairy tale where they show when the light comes on, when the story is being told, you see the prince, the only prince in the fairy tale
Yep.
forest, putting the shoe on Cinderella's foot. So that isn't the most dark part of the story. They really changed it.
And if we look up in the trees, we see the most unknown fairy tale. It's written by the Efteling itself.
It's the pigeons. The white pigeon, all the other pigeons. can
They
enjoy.
were colored. They used to be colored in the early days. Well, first they did it with paint, later on
It's
with food they gave them. But nowadays they are just their natural white color. And it's also a story. It's the bridal dress of Geneva. It was made up by the Efteling themselves.
oh, here's one. And you can buy food for the pigeons over
Over
here.
there when it's open.
It's in construction now, but yeah, they are used to getting food. It's healthy food here from visitors. So they basically eat out of your hand.
Yeah, we sometimes buy the food. They come sit on your hand. Another hollebolle Gijs. This Grandpa Gijs.
Still hungry from beyond the grave.
And so, as we promised, we will do a complete walk on Dutch Theme Park Network with all the hidden details, but we will do that after they completed the rebuild of the magical clock. So you can see the fairy tale forest in full glory. And actually, this is why I like Efteling so much. They are doing complete rebuilds
And we've got a walk as well in the winter when it's
when it was snowing. But what I wanted to say is that why I love Efteling so much is because they're not there for making profit only. They really try to keep and preserve fairy tales and myths. And everything the Efteling does is about fairy tales and telling stories and preserving nature. And that makes it a
beautiful park.
beautiful park.
And this is also a made-up fairy tale by a queen, and not the Queen of the Netherlands, but the Queen of Belgium,
Former queen,
Queen. Fabiola.
Queen Fabiola. She wrote her own fairy tale, and the Efteling built it.
And when this opened, my mother still remembers, she always tells this. So when they opened this whole square was full of people waiting to get in.
And nowadays you can just walk up. We have to hope that the show isn't going on because of rights or because it's a really famous song playing.
Oh well, then we need to turn off the music
Yeah.
a bit. How beautiful is this?
And if you visit Efteling, you should visit the Fairytale Forest in the middle of your day. And it's the least crowded.
Or when you get in summer and the park is open long and it's dark, this part is really beautiful in the
Yeah,
dark.
nowadays they close at 10 o'clock, so it isn't really dark anymore. But in winter, at the end of the day, and it's getting dark.
The lights that make it so magical. But this is perfect time, so during the day, and the sun is at its highest point.
And this is a scene where you can see fairies dance to the famous music.
Let's take one look from here. And there are own rides of this fairy tale, so.
Well, the Efteling makes their own on rides with very good equipment. So if you want to see those, visit the YouTube channel of the Efteling and you can see it all there. So you're quite sure you have the best possible experience of an on ride.
Where you see to show you what a walk is like and why we love to walk here.
And show you the size of this forest. It's amazing. It's actually, I believe, almost 20% of the park is the Fairytale Forest. And we are walking now for how long?
37 minutes.
37 minutes and we're still not out.
No. We are at halfway.
Well, past halfway, but let's say we have 1/3 to go, I guess.
And this one, I swear, I passed 3 times. I don't know how now. Now I know the way. I don't know how we did it, but we were so lost.
You have to turn around over and over again. That's the only way. No, this is not the way. Just let us walk back.
So if you get lost here, the app really shows you
Yeah.
a good way as well. And
Of course, that's another great tip if you're lost in the park.
there he is, little thumb.
Tom Tom.
Stealing the boots.
Trying to steal the boots. And as you can hear, children scream to the Tom Tom.
Because they know that it's one of the secrets. If you do that, he comes up.
He comes up.
Now this, if you love Disney and you've seen once, then you know Rumpelstilskin. And
Yep.
we swear the actor of Rumpelstilskin saw something of this fairy tale.
Yeah, when we were watching the series, he was in the series. He's moving his hands in certain ways, and we're quite sure he was inspired by the Rumpelstilskin in the Efteling, because he has, a similar style of moving his hands.
Well, we'll show you, and you can judge yourself.
Here we are at Rumpelstilskin.
Normally it's chimney smokes, but now it's hot, so he won't be having his heat on.
And here he is.
Niemand weet dat ik Rumpelstilskin heet. Niemand weet dat ik Rumpelstilskin heet. Hoepla, niemand weet dat ik Rumpelstilskin heet.
And here's another picture made.
Well, I'm curious if you've seen the series and you see this. You know, is it just us, or let us know? I want to know.
Just leave us a comment below. We want to know if we're the only ones seeing this similarity. Or if you know where the
actor got his inspiration, or
Yeah.
maybe this fairy tale is based on. Maybe the Efteling got his inspiration somewhere. That's possible too, you know. And will we go in this one? It always makes me so sad.
It's one of the most emotional fairy tales in the forest. And as you can see, it's a large castle-like building. And it's the story of the little match girl. And she dies in the end.
Well, she goes to grandma.
She goes to grandma, but actually that's dying.
Well, in this story, yeah. You know, not every time you go to grandma you die, but
No, but in this story she does. And they depict it very well.
yes.
But we would like to discover for yourself.
We can show grandma though.
Let's keep that for our other video. Hello. But also here there are so many details to show.
Yeah, you can make probably a video per fairy tale. Well, here are the people. Found them.
Ik heb ook nog een neef in Noorwegen
Ah,
die vaak verkouden is. Zeg maar, niets in de Kniesoor is dat.
that's a nice joke, Kniesoor.
He told us he got a cousin in Norway.
Sneezing,
And he
Kniesoor.
sneezes a lot, so sneezing Kniesoor, because this is, well, kniezende? What's that?
Kniesoor, yeah, I'm not sure how it translates to English. It's one of the talking trees in the forest. There's one more. And
He's a bit grumpy, a bit. Well,
yeah,
he's been there for hundreds of years. He was stuck.
he's not really cynic, but a little
He speaks
grumpy.
German. He speaks English.
If you have turned on the special function in the app, he talks in your own language. If it's English, Dutch, German, or French, and he actually can know your name. So many times I visit, he knows my name and says hi. The Emperor's new clothes.
Built on the south, so it's always sunny here. Because it's basically based on French and the vanity of
The Palace of Versailles.
yeah.
And I want to show it in a sunny way, so. And you can actually see the new Emperor's clothes.
Yep.
At least if you're honest, you will see them. They are beautiful.
I love this fairy tale.
Yeah, me as well. And as you can hear, all fairy tales are told in Dutch. Because, well, the main audience in the park is Dutch.
Still, but that's rapidly changing.
And the Efteling is working on ways to let you experience the story in your own language. But nowadays you can read the stories in the app. So if you want to know the stories, you can read the books, you can read in the app.
And they're working on a way to make you able to hear them as well. But there's not been recent news about that.
And now we come in a fairy tale that actually isn't a fairy tale.
It's the cinematic universe of the Efteling.
Yeah, this is the Efteling Cinematic Universe. One of the former directors of the park imagined the fairy tale tree, and he is telling stories about all the characters in the fairy tales and combining them together, what they do after closing time.
Of toch liever eentje met rood kapje. Kies maar.
And there was a television series of it.
Jij bent
And that was so popular they decided to add the tree to the park as well.
And he tells the stories.
And he's also here, he tells all kind of stories. And I love those stories because they're always funny, there's always a funny twist.
Sometimes pretty predictable, but they can surprise you too.
But all the characters are really characters. I love the Bad Wolf because he isn't that bad.
No, and he's very unlucky. He's a bit Donald Duck.
I think that's a good description. He's a little bit the Donald Duck of the fairy tale forest. And also, this is a fairy tale made up by the Efteling itself.
And I don't want to admit how old I was before I discovered how he flies.
Because as you can see, and here he comes.
Let me know if you know how he flies.
He is
How,
flying.
how does this work? Tell me.
We're flying, yeah, Fakir.
Flying, oh yeah, Fakir.
And he flies over because now on the right the tulips are up, and now he's flying over to the other side to blow his whistle over there, so he makes the tulips grow on the other side. And also that it's a really old technique, very
Low tech?
low tech, but it works very well. We don't
Well, I never won't
spoil
tell you.
that one.
And this is the Chinese nightingale over here. And they built a Chinese garden too.
And I think I liked walking the other garden even
Yes.
better. You can go in there as well, and you have
Yes, yes.
seen it like, yeah, well, the Indian, like the other stories where you can stand and see the story,
Developed.
see a little show. It's also the same over here. But I love to walk this Japanese garden. Actually, almost nobody walks in. That's such a pity because
Well, you
it's
can make photos here, photo shoots, when you get wet, for example. And this is a very popular place to make photos, but other than that, people don't come here. Which is a shame, because well,
look
you
at
have,
this
to, you have
view.
to trust us. Well, let me zoom out a bit, because it's 1.2. Well, there's water here. There's fish over there. And
And a very unpleasant bridge. But also here you find a statue of the brothers Grimm.
commemorating their effort to tell the fairy tales and keep them alive.
And the smell is amazing over here.
Yes, beautiful flowers, plants. And
And
over
there-
here,
Yeah.
there are beautiful places just to get off your feet, drink something, but also a statue to commemorate the 3 people who founded this place.
Yeah. And first of all, there's Peter Reinders. He was the one who was doing the techniques.
Made the fairy tales come alive.
Here we see Anton Pieck. He's a famous Dutch
Artist
drawing artist. And he draw all the pictures
drew.
for the very first fairy tales. And of course, here is Mr. van der Heijden. He was the mayor of Loon op Zand. And he was commissioned.
And basically founded the Efteling, and well, the first 12 guilders of 50. The
40
starting,
guilders.
the starting capital was laughable compared to.
They were asking some religion people to all put in for 10 guilders. So actually it was 40 guilders, and that's approximately 18 euros. Nowadays you pay 48 to
Just
even
enter the park.
to just enter the park. But it all started with that. And also this statue is worth a mention, because it was the statue given by all the workers in 1962 or 1961 or 1960 or 1963, not quite sure, because the Efteling shifted what their opening year was. But this statue was made for the 10th anniversary of the Efteling. And that makes us to the end of the Fairytale Forest. And then we come, and every ride must end in a gift shop. So also this one. Here you find in Oude Marskramer, one of the large souvenir shops of the park. I think we go in and say goodbye to all our viewers.
Well, let's say goodbye now and go in.
And we go in. We hope to see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
Help us keep making more of these walks, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.